Hello, my beautiful fellow sparkly spirits, sensitive spirits, deep dreamers, deep divers into the psyche. I am your resident sparkly space blob, and I am here to create a soft moment of check-in the world of astrology and archetypes because it can get so overwhelming in this world of information. And my job is to bring warmth, safety, and breath to the process. And that's exactly what we are going to be doing here as we explore this Mercury retrograde that is moving through Sagittarius and Scorpio, running from November 9th to November 29th. And it's a really powerful one. For those of you who have been with me for a while, you know I often sit down to explore the Mercury retrograde. And this particular one, I think it's really important to take a moment to sit with it because when I consider the last year, I think many of us have moved through very deep depths and very illuminating moments. And it has been a year that has felt like 5-10 years all in one year. Many of us have gone through transformations in ourselves, reassessment of what's important. Our hearts have been broken multiple times by the state of the world, by the big questions. Many of us are sitting here at the beginning of this Mercury retrograde, at the end of this year, with many deep questions and also with a sense of something coalescing and coming together into a new form. And because of that, I actually consider this Mercury retrograde to be really important for taking care of ourselves, for integrating, for preparing, for opening. And this is a Mercury retrograde that acknowledges that shift and change and sitting in the doorway between worlds can be really uncomfortable. It can bring up feelings of shame, of failure, of confusion. It can feel like, what am I supposed to be doing? We can feel disillusioned at times, while simultaneously having this kind of deep sense of faith and mystery and exploration and this beautiful magic that's wanting to weave with us. And I think what's beautiful about this particular Mercury retrograde is that it's able to hold both of those and help us to alchemize them together. This is a dual process during this Mercury retrograde. On the one hand, processing this last year because it has energetically changed the world and it has changed each of us. And that is something to sit with and to honor and to recognize as very real and essential. And this Mercury retrograde is an invitation to join in the weaving of the next energy cycle that is opening. And many of these energy cycles are going for many years ahead. And we're just beginning, but we're going to be getting so many intuitive nudges, so many places of synchronicity and invitation. So we're doing a lot of simultaneous work during this Mercury retrograde, but it's really a time where we can build on our intuition, process and release, and open. And I think that kind of spiritual reconnection can be so restorative at a time when we really, really need it. I want to just explore this with you, create a little bit of breath and space within this Mercury retrograde, and demystify some of the qualities that are moving through with this one. So let's talk through this Mercury retrograde because it really is split nice and evenly between Sagittarius and Scorpio. And the first half of this retrograde is going to take place in Sagittarius from November 9th to November 18th. And the themes around this first half of Mercury retrograde are having a lot to do with our world vision. Kind of how we see the whole bigger process and how we're treating ourselves in that. So reflecting on any ways we're seeing the world, especially after this hard year, kind of noticing and witnessing, do you have any ways you're talking about the way that the world works and the way the world runs and any underlying kind of like belief systems that have kind of developed through that, any cynicism, overwhelm, hopelessness. We want to notice and witness any larger cohesive stories we're telling about the world, and take a breath. Because we also have to then ask, how is this working for me? Is this helping me wake up in the morning or sleep or be in my community? Is it connecting dots for me? Is it working? And if it's not, then we'll be in a process during this Mercury retrograde of helping ourselves gently rework those thoughts and those patterns, because Sagittarius is about looking at the big picture. It's Jupiterian energy. And that also means that it's a very positive energy. And of course, yes, there's toxic positivity. We can sugarcoat things. We can avoid going into the shadows. But don't worry, this Mercury retrograde will take care of that, because we're going to go over to Scorpio. So don't worry, we're going to do both. But Sagittarius is about purposely cultivating clarity, positivity, hope, meaning, faith, and vision. That's what makes it so beautiful. And it is challenging to show up that way and continue to do it. It's like going on a walk every day and slowly building a little bit more stamina to go on a longer walk. The same with this kind of ability to hold the world and find the beauty and the good in it. This is also a time to clear away old hauntings, old ways of trapping yourself and who you think you have to be, and allowing hopeful, caring energy to enter your energetic system, allowing yourself to hold the vision of something beautiful and good coming. And noticing where we have blockages on that, where we say that's not allowed, that's not good enough. Where our inner critic, our inner worrier is shutting us down, is shaming us out of hope and warmth. It's quite deep work, actually. This is also a time, this first half of the Mercury retrograde, to get crystal clear on how you want to talk about yourself, your process, your visions, your dreams, and the world. And so it's a little bit of a workshop, one could say, a little reworking of the language we're using and the reasons why we're allowed to be hopeful and an expansive beauty seeking. I love that. And Sagittarius is the energy of my heart. I love it. It brings me to life. So I'm highly biased. So I love doing homework in this particular sign. And then the second half of this retrograde brings us into the depths of the psyche, the subconscious, the soul, the hidden, the transmutational. So yes, we are going to go to deeper places in the second half of this Mercury retrograde as we dive into the depths. But this is where we can really process the last year, because there have been shadows. And there has been shadow work, and there has been difficulty, and there has been grieving. And all of that is so very real and essential to the process. I think just like Sagittarius invites us into the expansive, joyful, hopeful, rising sun, that only happens after the night in the midnight garden, right? And so we're kind of doing it backwards because that's a retrograde for you. But they go hand in hand. And that's what I love about the symmetry of this Mercury retrograde. So this is a time, the second half, as we move through, and we'll be in Scorpio season for a good chunk of this Mercury retrograde. We're going to be visiting all the old haunting, anything that's haunting us or holding on to us in our psyche, and giving support and healing to those things. Scorpio is a great healer because it is the witness that allows us to sit with the shadow, the dark, the hidden, the subconscious, the unseen, and be with. Releasing and shedding old identities. So if we got a way that we think we just have to be in the world and that's just the identity we have to have forever, this is a time to really question that. Notice where we're saying, well, everybody knows me as this type of writer, so I can't do that. Well, I've been living my life in this modality for the last 5 years, so it feels like I've used up all my luck, so I can't make that change now, right? Where we're not allowing ourselves to let go of an identity. This is also a time to embrace the unknown and creating capacity to hold that unknown without shame, without shaming ourselves, without belittling ourselves, without being hard on ourselves. Just knowing that it's very human to be in the unknown. And if you don't know what you're doing, you are not alone. And we're going to talk about that a little bit more because I have some themes I want to talk about with this. This is also a time to grieve and feel emotions that have collected in the body over this last year. We're not going to do all that work during this Mercury retrograde, but it is an invitation to shake it out, cry it out, feel it, write it down, and not hold it in the system, because we can't carry that weight forever with us in the world if we're going to start moving into these new energy cycles. So we're preparing, we're making that space. We're clarifying and we're making that space so something new can arrive. And also, of course, this Mercury retrograde, these last days of it, the last week of it, is really going to be an enhanced time of psychic vision, clarity, next projects, next steps, getting a call from inside. And yes, that's going to require some courage, but also we don't have to do it all at once. The courage comes in little nudges and winks, right? So this is really a time we're preparing our energy system. We are taking care of our entire energetic system from conscious to unconscious and back out again as we go into the post-shadow phase to open to what is possible to create next. And that requires a certain capacity. It requires a certain capacity to hold unknown and vision and to be kind to ourselves, honestly. And that's what this retrograde is really doing with us. And that's why I find it to be such a potent journey. I wanted to finish up our little chat today with one tarot card because I couldn't resist. I just, you know me. If you've been with me for a while, you know I like to just check in. And I tell you what, I woke up this morning so tired. I had the weirdest week of visions, of emotions, of processing. And I'm like, I don't even know how I'm gonna be sitting down here. Who even am I? Who is Sarah, the space blob? What is she doing in life right now? Oh, my dog is being adorable in the background. So we have to share that because he's really lounging. He's he's seriously lounging. He knows how to be. It's just a really interesting time. And so as I'm putting words to this, if you are somebody who feels like your life is going through a bit of a I don't know what to do phase, I'm just with you. Like, no, it's not even external drama. It's an internal process of me changing that is a little intimidating. Okay, Page of Cups came out in this chat, and I love that. It's such a beautiful combo of the optimism and hopefulness and bigness of Sagittarius energy with the watery, intuitive quality of Scorpio. So I love that as a bridge here because Page of Cups is a good news bringer. So this is quite a pleasant and warm energy. And this is a news bringer from the other side. You know, whenever I see that fish in the cup, I think it's those gifts and those visions and those energetic nudges that come from the unseen world into the mundane world. And a reminder to keep our hearts open. Pages are very open because they're the companions of the fool, I would say. They have this naive, open quality that, yes, it has a shadow side, of course. Every archetype has a shadow and a light. But the beauty of Page of Cups is that openness to receive, that openness to be curious, that openness to know that new gifts are coming, even while we may not see the full thing. We might just get the little phone call from the other side during this time. But look for them. It's a reminder that beauty is on its way. And the more of us who are here to do that and love, the better. And there's value. There's value in caring for yourself. There's value in your journey, even if it feels like it's a big old failure, because failure is a cultural concept. There's value in your journey, even when it's a mess. And there's more coming. There's more coming. More beauty is coming. I love that as a message. I love that as a message. I'm sitting there with you. I'm feeling with you. And I just want to take a moment to really thank my patrons in my wild dreaming community. You make it possible for me to be here in this space. You make it possible for me to exist in the world. And I just love your wisdom, your spirits, your soul. It's the honor of my lifetime to get to offer you support and care in this world and create a safe landing spot for that. And if you want to join me, I am always so happy when I see new faces, new energy in that space. I am planning a very deep in between archetypal magical New Year journey that will start in December and run all the way through January to support us in a soft, gentle way in that transitional in between energy that I consider December and January to be. So if you're looking for support, that's going to be a really powerful journey. We're going to work with tarot. We're going to work with archetypes. We're going to work with visioning and surrealist art and journaling. It's going to be beautiful. I also have so many resources available in that space. Tarot courses and wild dreaming courses. And we do a live gathering every single month where we just talk about life and energy. And I would love to have you in that space. So I just want to put that out there, and I want to hear from you. What are you feeling as we step into this time? What does Mercury retrograde mean to you? What are the key words that light you up when you think about Mercury retrograde? And how are you feeling about this one? How are you feeling about, are you going through transitions in life and you're feeling like, what am I doing? And why does this feel like a big, huge mess? I want to hear, because I just love when we can commune over these things. And I am sending you all so much love. I will see you back here very soon. We got a Scorpio new moon coming up that's really powerful.